In the first Saw movie, there is a guy chained by his ankle to a wall pipe of some sorts in an abandoned warehouse bathroom or some shit like that. It's a bathroom. Doesn't really fucking matter what kind. Anyway, he has zero way to break these chains. He does not have a key for the chains. He does not have any way to get a key for these chains. What he does have is a hacksaw, but the hacksaw is not strong enough to cut through the chain or the shackles, which means that this gentleman has two options. One, he could stay exactly where the fuck it is that he's at, waiting to get help and potentially starving to death on the floor of a dirty ass bathroom. Or two, he could take this rusty ass hacksaw and cut through his ankle, therefore freeing his foot, or his leg, I guess, from the shackle and allowing him to crawl to who knows where, but at the very least, out of the fucking bathroom. Now, at the end of this movie, spoiler alert, I guess, if you're one of those people, but also fuck you. Anyway, at the end of this movie, he decides to cut off his ankle so that he can have a chance of freedom. And I say a chance because he had no idea what was going to be on the other side of the door or where the door was even going to lead to, or if he was going to bleed out from cutting off his ankle. Now, there's a possibility he was a doctor and maybe knew he wasn't going to bleed out, but that's not 100% relevant to the point that I'm making. Anyway, the point is he had to saw through his muscle and bones and ligaments and whatever the fuck else it is in and around his ankle joint. Why he didn't just cut his foot in half, no idea. That would have been the better choice to me. Still would have sucked, but anyway, point is, he cut off his fucking foot so that he could get out for a chance at freedom, because he very well could have bled out on the way out. Whenever he was out, he could have got some sort of infection from crawling through the fucking who knows where the fucking bathroom left and died that way. But he wanted the chance at freedom. That was more important to him than what it was going to take to get there. And that is a perfect metaphor for how it is that life works. Because there are lots of people who find themselves in some sort of situation and they swear that they have no other option, whether it be simple shit like in a unpleasant relationship, or it be more difficult shit like being homeless and poor. In all these scenarios, people swear that where they are is the only place that they could possibly be. They can't leave this relationship because they don't have anywhere else that they can go. So therefore, in their mind, they don't have a choice. But in reality, they absolutely do have a choice. You are free to leave at any given point in time, whether you know where you are going to go or not. Now, might you prefer to live in a house than to potentially be homeless or live in a hotel or some shit like that? Yes, absolutely. But the choice is still there. Just because the second option is not pleasant, it does not mean that there is not an option. And regardless of how bad your relationship is, in whatever capacity that it's bad, if you are not choosing to leave it, then you are choosing to be there and endure whatever it is that is going on. Because to you, that is much worse than the unknown or the alternative. And you prefer that over the other option. Much like if you were fat and you were not willing to do what it takes to lose all of your weight, i.e. eating less food, because you were not going to be happy constantly thinking about being hungry, or the little hunger pains that you get when your stomach rumbles, or you don't want to ignore the thoughts about late night pizza that pop into your head, then that is that is totally fine, and that is your prerogative. You're free to do those things. But if you are not choosing to do what it takes to lose weight, then you are choosing to continue being fat. If you are poor, then you are choosing to be poor if you are not actively trying to better your situation. If you are not willing to sacrifice your time, if you are not willing to sacrifice your free time, if you are not willing to give up time with friends or the shit that you do in your free time, such as watching TV or playing video games or sleeping in or whatever shit, even if it's just sleeping less. Maybe you're one of the few people who work 16 hours a fucking day. If you're not willing to cut your sleep down to 5-6 hours so that you can get what it is that you need done in order to improve your situation, then you are choosing to stay in it. Because at the end of the day, you are comfortable there, and you are picking what it is that you are comfortable with versus what you might not be comfortable with, because you prefer the known to the unknown. But you still have a fucking choice. There is no such thing as a person in this world who does not have an option to do something different. Now, maybe that option might be to die rather than to stay where it is that you are. And that's unfortunate for you, but you still do have the choice. And if you are staying where it is that you are, that means you prefer where it is that you are than to getting somewhere else. Much like the dude in the Saw movie. He had a very, very difficult choice of, do I want to cut my foot off or do I want to starve to death in this bathroom? It's not a pleasant choice. It's not an ideal choice. It's not an easy choice to make. And once you make the choice to cut your foot off, it's not an easy thing to do. It takes a lot of commitment to go to go through with sawing your foot off all of the way. I would imagine. I've never had to hacksaw off my foot or any of my other limbs, fortunately. Anyway, that's beside the point. The point is, it's a very difficult thing to do regardless, but he still had that option. So you are sitting there telling yourself that you have no other choice but to be where the fuck it is that you are. You absolutely fucking do. The problem is not your lack of choice. The problem is, what are you willing to pay the price for? Because you are either paying a price for the situation that you are in. If you are poor, you are paying the price of not being able to do shit, not being able to live the life that you want, not being able to provide for yourself and other people. And if you want to improve that, then you are paying the price of sacrificing a bunch of your few comforts that you have temporarily, though. But you're still choosing which price it is that you would like to pay. People in those shitty relationships are paying the price of staying somewhere that they are unhappy and possibly mistreated versus paying the price of heading off on their own and trying to figure out a way to make it work and maybe dealing with not having a place to live for a few months or whatever the fucking case might be. But at the end of the day, there is always a fucking choice. There is no such thing as this is the only possible thing that you can do. But most people don't see that choice because they are unwilling to do a difficult thing. And if you are unwilling to do difficult things, then you will always appear to have less options than you actually do. Or you will see the options that you have and view them entirely incorrectly. The drug dealer and the drug user both had the exact same options when it comes to the drugs, but the drug user saw the drugs and saw an opportunity to feel better about the situation that they were currently in. They wanted to escape the reality. So they took those drugs and they did them and they got high and they felt good for a little while, but ultimately all they did was further trap themselves where it is that they are. The drug dealer, on the other hand, saw the drugs and saw an opportunity to make money where they did not see any other opportunities to make money, and used the exact same thing that has trapped or imprisoned, that's the word that I want, that has imprisoned the drug user as their ticket to freedom. Now, I'm aware that all drug dealers don't do this, some just do stupid shit, but the point is, there are people who sell drugs as a way to better their life, and they had the exact same option as the person who did drugs to forget about their life, to forget about their problems, to feel better about their problems. They used the source of that person's problems as a solution to their own because they were determined to figure out how to get ahead in life, how to better their life, how to better their situation. So they viewed things differently. And whatever situation it is that you are in, I guarantee you that you have those exact same sort of options. People look at social media, people look at YouTube and Instagram and other social media platforms, and people swear that shit is evil. People swear that it is the downfall of society and is causing all of this bad shit. And those same people spend their days mindlessly scrolling through Instagram, mindlessly watching YouTube videos of people opening boxes or reviewing food or reacting to music, and while they think it's stupid, they also find entertainment in it, and that entertainment makes them feel better about their situation. But on the other side of that same coin is the person who is opening boxes. It is the person who is reviewing the food. It is the person who is reacting to music, who saw the exact same thing that the consumer did and decided to become a creator, and through that means be able to better their own situation and better the lives of other people around them. For everything that is hurting one person is helping another person. It is not the thing, it is how it is that you choose to use the thing. And how you choose to use the thing is based entirely upon your worldview. If you believe that you have no options, then you will simply try and make the best of your situation. You will try and find a way to be comfortable with where it is that you are. You will look for coping mechanisms, and people all online, all over the fucking world, therapists and all of that shit, psychiatrists, just offer coping mechanisms for these things, and that's what people go to. Yeah, they want tools to deal with their sadness, or tools to deal with their discomfort, or the body positivity people want tools to feel good about the body that they have, rather than trying to improve their body and making it the best that it can be. Because logic would dictate, depending on your worldview, if you do not like your body, the answer is not to try and make yourself like it as it is to work on improving it. If you look in the mirror and you see a fat ass and you don't like that fat ass, the key is not to accept yourself as a fat ass, it's to stop being a fat ass. And you can do either or, but one will further keep you where it is that you are, or further trap you where it is that you are, and the other one will set you free. But people are not looking for freedom. They are looking for comfort. They are looking to be placated where it is that they are. They are looking to feel better about their situation. People see their life is shitty and hopeless and they look for ways to deal with it being shitty and hopeless. That's not what it is that you want. That's never going to help you because you don't want to feel better about the situation that you are in. You want to improve it. If your roof is leaking and you just want to feel better about it and forget it, eventually that shit's still going to fucking collapse. You're just not going to care about it in the time. But if your roof is leaking and you decide that you don't want it to leak anymore, you will find a way to fix it. Both are options. Again, it all depends on your worldview, it depends on your perspective, and it depends on the price that you are willing to pay. Because if you are looking to fix it, it might stress you out for the time being that it's there. Yes, absolutely. It might cost you some physical labor, effort, money, whatever the fucking case may be, but ultimately it will be fixed. On the other hand, if you're only looking to feel better about it, that will help you in the moment with your stress and not having shit to worry about it, not having to exert yourself, or not having to spend any money that you may not have, or trying to figure out how something works. But ultimately, it will cost you having a roof altogether. But people still, time and time again, pick the former. This is why they turn to their depression meds. This is why they turn to their anxiety meds. This is why they turn to alcohol and liquor and all sorts of escapism, because they want to feel better about their situation rather than improve it, because they don't believe that they have options. But the people who overcome their depression or overcome their anxiety or take themselves from a terrible situation, being homeless, to being at the top of the world, are people who refuse to accept that they have no options and view everything around them as ways out or ways to better themselves. So everything is how it is that you view it. There is not a such thing in this whole entire world as a person who does not have any options. Even the saw guy, he had options, but people are just mad because the option is a saw rather than a key. Just because something doesn't come easy, it doesn't mean that you can't make it happen. Just because it's not effortless to do a thing, it doesn't mean the thing is impossible to do. And everything worthwhile and good takes effort. In the case of Saw Guy, I still don't remember his name, Saw Guy's situation, the cost of his freedom was his foot. But most people would rather keep their foot and pay the price of their life.